Question 5, Patrick Harvey.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. Can I ask the Scottish Executive whether it supports an increase in domestic aviation between Scotland and other mainland UK airports?
Stewart Stevenson.
The Scottish Government does not support an increase in these domestic services where practical and more environmentally friendly alternative forms of transport exist.
Patrick Harvey.
Well, that's very encouraging, and I have to say I've lost count of the number of times when the Minister has told me in glowing terms of the statistics of his own travel choices and the desire he has to reduce his reliance on domestic aviation. Why then is his neighbour in the ministerial tower, Jim Mather, responsible for an agency, Visit Scotland, which is placing adverts in English newspapers saying fly to Glasgow, fly to Edinburgh, fly to Aberdeen for a day trip to Scotland? Either these adverts will increase domestic aviation, in which case they're incompatible with his previous answer, or they won't do that, in which case they're just a waste of money.
Minister.
My colleague Mr Mather is most vigorous and energetic and successful in promoting Scotland's economic development. For my part, of course, I look with great interest to the work of HS2, which has within its remit to look to extending sustainable transport, high-speed rail to Scotland. That is a key initiative which, if pursued, would see hundreds of flights per week taken out of domestic aviation from Scotland, replaced by effective, environmentally friendly ways. We are utterly committed in this government. Would that some others were so committed.
James Stone.
Presiding Officer, notwithstanding the thrust of Patrick Harvey's question, will the Minister look at how we can increase the number of domestic flights in and out of Wick Airport, which does have spare capacity? As a matter of priority, will the Minister ask the Enterprise Network and his transport officials to look into the issue and how we can maximise this very real opportunity?
Minister.
Wick Airport is one of those airports, of course, where the practical, more environmentally friendly options are substantially more limited, and therefore is a very important part of the transport infrastructure for the far north of Scotland. I do note in particular that take-up of the air discount scheme is lower in Caithness and the north of Scotland than elsewhere. I'd very much encourage people to register for that. That will reduce the cost of air travel and, of course, make journeys more effective. I do talk regularly to the airlines that serve Wick, and, of course, we are supporting their operations. I will continue to do so, and I've taken note of the points the member raises.
John Scott.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. Notwithstanding Patrick Harvey's views, I trust that the Minister recognises the valuable contribution made to the economy of Ayrshire by Prestwick Airport, and indeed what I am sure will be the equivalent contribution made to other areas with airports. And I hope that the Scottish Government will continue to do everything possible to support the development of Prestwick Airport wherever and however it can, and the local jobs that rely upon it.
Prestwick is clearly a very important part of the economy of the area the member represents, and it may be appropriate to take the opportunity to thank airport operators for their very substantial contribution to ensuring that transport continued to operate in a way that limited the damage that there was to transport choices during the recent ash over the UK. They did a very good job indeed.